Right,
Alright.
cool. We're on. We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Division 1 in League of Europe. I'm joined, rather surprisingly for him, by Sarja. He didn't really know he was signed up for this, but it's cool. That's fine.
Well, hello there.
How are you today?
I'm good, Mark.
Nice. No, good. So, right, we're on. We are on. It's just the YouTube
You're
being
on.
a bit.
You're on.
YouTube being a bit funny. All dry. Oh, that's boring. That's boring. I didn't really want a dry race to commentate with these guys, but you got any predictions for this race? Obviously, we've got Mitch out, which is interesting because he's obviously doing fairly well in the standings and winning by quite a margin. So,
Well, at least now it's time to gain that gap for our drivers. So we'll see.
absolutely.
I say, and well, there's already first retirement already.
What happened there? Gary! Oh dear. Gary was going on before the race about how important qualifying was. And I know he was running 9 ballast. He was running 9 ballast. Unbelievable. What a start for the for the Irishman there. Not what he was after. Oh. So, you would think that, I believe anyway, my understanding is Harry would be the favourite for this today.
Yeah,
But
it seems. Yeah, for now, at least by Discord chat, it seems rapid. But we'll see if it comes to qualifying.
this is it. Have you done much? Have you been doing any practice? Because I know you sometimes practice with Ozone Dallas, as his name is, but as everyone normally refers to him as RJ. Have you done any practice with RJ at all?
No. Well, to for a couple, I think like a couple runs and that's it. But still, it's like I said, Print isn't really how my strongest track, so I really wasn't bothered anyway.
Yeah, it's a real unusual track in the sense that it's a bit like Australia. It brings out pace in people that you might not necessarily expect, and also some people that are normally quite quick do struggle, I've noticed with this track.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point. So yeah, for example, like both Allarity, like Alter Neo or Alti Neo, they might be quick easily, but we'll see how track like comes. Like for example, like Cantera or Philippru, like how they come out with those guys. Or actually like bad guys, like Nevoluccio Yari, not the bad guys still. They will still come out back top. It's such a not even track.
no, absolutely, and I know, I think from memory, I've seen Joom do quite a few races here in a few different leagues, and he's quite handy. As Own sets the first lap, which is a 26.6, and Killer 26.7. They're times that I'd be anticipating a little bit to be towards the back of this. I think these guys will be getting in the 25s, would be my suspicion.
Oh no, as Leon and Spine only separate by 1,000 of a second.
Very tight here. I'll put on some telemetry and stuff because I've just kind of realised.
Yeah, and now Neo goes up hold by 1/10 by Leon. So Neo and as Deki goes by 5/10 of a second to Neo. So there's a bit of gaps, but not large. So let's go on as Cantera 26.1 3 tenths in Decky. He has a good background for Cantera.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very solid way to. That's a good banker lap, and I think that's probably more towards where the pace will be when in the top 5 or so. I can imagine that someone.
As we now see Toom and Cantera doing some teamwork.
Yes. Yeah, the Saab was an interesting car. We had Nico replace Cantera because Cantera didn't really turn up much, and then Nico left the league, and now Cantera's turned up. So Cantera now does have his seat back in the Sauber, because I think Cantera and Joom are good friends as well, so they'll be pleased with that. Interestingly, it's Harry, yes, does dip into the 25s as we suspected, but I tell you,
first on 26. So yeah, continue.
I tell you what's interesting is that there is no feasible way, unless Rick wins this race, that Mitch will lose his title lead. But Harry in particular, who is 49 points behind, if he can win today, he then gets within, you know, a potential one race kind of points, you know, scoring ability to wheel him back in, being only 24 points. So it's quite important for Harry to actually win this today.
And we think he actually has pace, as seen the time. He's like first one to go on 136, and as time sort of goes, it's been quite rapid. But we'll see how the race will go.
I can't believe no one's out on the hards and taking a leaf out of your book.
Yeah, well, it's my tactics. It's my own tactics. I don't think everyone will follow it. Well, I don't know about the T3, but still, it's definitely my use.
Leon comes round. He runs wide, so I think because.
Yeah, and back cells. Yeah.
Bullet boy. No, there's
yeah,
a bit of a lull.
So I think he's probably V5 who's on a lap.
Yes. Yeah. Good to see what he can do around here, because I know he's quite confident. He hasn't practiced that much, but Gary's not too happy. He's just messaged me on WhatsApp. Don't really feel like I can repeat that. Like, he's not too happy with himself, unfortunately. But I'm sure he'll. There's worse tracks to start on the other compounds. You know, he could probably stick on the mediums, I imagine, and go from there. But obviously not in the plan.
I mean, we all know how hard it is to heat up the tires in here. But now as V5 comes across and goes P6.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, the times are a little bit slower than I was anticipating with these guys. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm expecting too much.
Maybe you are, but sometimes bankers are bankers, and we will see at the end error probably will improve.
Yeah, very true. So Rick, who is second in the title race and is ahead of Harry, again will be looking to improve on his times, but it's looking quite positive for the Mercedes at the moment. And I think this is the inclination people have been giving me when I've been talking to them about this track, is that qualifying is probably more important than other tracks, because it's pretty hard to overtake, which is interesting because there's a lot of straights, but don't seem to feel like you can truly get the most out of DRS here compared to, I don't know, someone like Bahrain.
It's a fair point. I know why, it's just kind of like track evolution, what kind of tells apart, because the fuel and ERS, they don't like consume that much like they used to be. Well, now as everyone is now taking their second laps.
Yeah. Going on board with Cantera because he's the man that could. He's most likely, according to form anyway, to challenge for Harry's lap.
As Rick goes second.
Good lap. Can't really believe that he set a valid lap. Tam has said about Harry. He's pretty bad.
It's surprising.
Always. We get Killer. Now, I can tell you for a fact, Killer Blue has not practiced very much at all for this race. He's got a lot of revision and a lot of exams. As Neo goes quickest there with a very, very quick lap. Cantera coming round now. This should be in the 25s. Ooh, it was invalidated. But that would have put him third.
Yeah.
As we
see now, Deki went a bit wide, so I think his lap is invalid now also.
Oh, Leon
and
with a spin.
As Leon spawns in old Starfish line after first still.
He's done well to get away with no damage.
Yeah, lucky to escape with no damage at all.
I want to say a little special shout out to someone today. Maybe she doesn't know who. Well, she does know who, I suppose. But Mrs. Killer Blue. I don't know if that's official or whatever. And I'm kind of put my foot in it, but yeah, Killer's girlfriend is watching this stream, so bit of extra pressure on.
There's some extra pressure, but yeah. Still, he's on 5th place on a pad. As we now see Deck and Harry, now he's on P1, P2, as the Mercs are going fine right now.
Yeah, it's starting to get to the kind of pace that I was anticipating, to be fair.
Yeah, now like 25.7, 25.8, yeah, that's like more like it.
There's guys, I mean, Spine has always been a quick guy as well. As he comes round.
As Natchum goes 4 as usual, but yeah.
So Bullet Boy is struggling a little bit. I think he's not too confident on his pace today. I mean, it's interesting that guys like Yari, V5 and Naluigi are at the back. Obviously those guys were in Division 2. Well, have been historically in Division 2, particularly V5 and Naluigi last season. So, what was Bullet Boy? Bullet Boy is completely cutting the track, and I think he's just trying to get
one way. Yeah, it's like one way to gain time.
Yeah, I think he'd have had enough time to get back anyway, but he's trying to make sure.
Well, so, yeah, just make sure. Like, there's like 4 minutes left.
So I believe, Doom and Spine are coming in, aren't they? They're not going on their last run.
In, as we see at the fuel cages. As we see now, Jumi has run out of fuel. But besides that, yeah.
So it's pretty crazy that everyone is within a second, basically. Gary just outside of it, ruining that, but very, very, very tight grid.
Aaron is literally inside of a second. That's how close it is. Well, as Gary is like 1.667, but still, everyone else is like under a second, so you can't tell it's quite a tight grid.
That's a really good shout out, actually, Tyler. Ozone, Dallas, and Own have set the exact same lap, which is pretty crazy. Guessing Own would have done his first, as I think Rick Is the first guy out, or is it Cantera? Oh, it's saying it's
Actually, Yari's
Cantera.
actually now. Yari's actually starting his stuff right now.
Oh, okay. He's not going to be happy about being last. So I'm pretty sure this is quite a strong wheel track. So, and I know that he does actually race on the wheel. So hopefully he can speed up a bit.
Now he this stream as and to his teammate.
Quick time. I mean, it'd be interesting to see where, for example, the 26s are at the moment. I think a lot of this grid can get into the 25s, and I would be quite surprised if they didn't, to be honest. So guys like Yari, who, yeah, they're not normally, you know, threatening for the race wins, but I would imagine he would still be looking to get into early 26s at the very worst. So comes around this very fiddly last few set of corners. It's looking like it's going to be early 26s to me.
Which it is.
He'll be a bit gutted he couldn't eke out another 10th and a bit, because that was the difference between 6th and 9th. And you've got to fancy there's a few guys that you would think would improve.
Like, for example, like, I think like Leon would be, because he's like the cannon reader, so I think he has some to say about that.
Yeah, agreed. Rick is, I think Rick was one of the first over the line, so following on board with Rick as he goes halfway round. There's a lot of yellows, I'm guessing a lot of people moving out of the way. He's gonna... Ooh.
As Kenter goes second.
Very good lap by Cantera, and he'll be gutted to have not just eked out that little bit more. What can Rick do? This looks...
He's that second run to go.
Rick's looks quick. Ooh, not...
Quite invalid.
Oh. Yes. So... Neo's on a lap. Harry's on a lap. Killer Blue retires with a 26-1. And Owen is done for the day as well. We've got a lot of guys coming round. We've got Harry, we've got Decky. They're running very close to each other actually. His Spine is also going to be, I believe, the first one out of this little trio to kind of come through. Need to hit this apex in the 20s, which just looks slow to me.
Well, as now Leon goes second now.
I was completely wrong. And Spiner does improve, and there's literally less than a tenth, significantly less than a tenth between the top guys.
Yeah. So three, as now Harry is blistered after 25-4.
And his teammate Decky improving to third as well. Cantera has had enough, he's going in. Joom is going to come round, and he goes second, and is the only man to get past the 25.7 barrier other than Harry. We've got, no, I think that's pretty much that. Yeah, I think everyone's done. Quite a few surprises in the end there. So Harry getting pole was not necessarily a surprise. I thought June would be quite quick. Leon again is a very quick guy, but yeah, a lot of surprises, and all of those laps, all of those times are, yeah, I mean, just there's less than a second between.
Like
V5.
for example, like top 10 are less than 6/10s.
That is absolutely crazy. This is a seriously impressive qualifying session. Actually, it was quite
Yeah,
Fascinating.
even though Harry's like 2 tenths clear of Tune, but either way, it's very, very close between the grid.
Yeah, half a second between second and 12th, basically.
But as I now see, as Leon and Dick has exactly the same time.
Yeah, and that's gone through the grid, isn't it? You know, obviously, RJ was very, very, very close. Well, very close still to own, but they were on the same time for a while. So yeah, 2nd to 14th. Killer's pointed out 0.518 seconds. That's pretty damn impressive, and it shows that the grid might be so close in my eyes that guys like Bullet, Own, RJ, and Killer, if you're going to stick on the mediums, you might well be able to stay with people, because I think a lot of people's pace is going to be so similar. People just are not going to be able to avoid battling.
That's a fair point.
If you get depressed by how quick these guys are, you can turn over and watch the Division 3 race, but then again, some of those guys are really quick also, and quicker than me, I'll tell you that. But that should be quite fun, and there's a very good title battle going on there, so whilst I don't want any of you to leave, if you want to go, feel free. There might be a bit of rain, I don't know, be interesting.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. As I now see, there's some hard tires being used, so I'm not alone.
Oh yeah, Ibbo and Bag of Bones. Nice. It looks like a sunny race there. I don't know.
But yeah, but we'll see. But now let's focus on D1 now. There's another race to see.
What do you envisage as the pole time?
Pole time.
Oh, not pole time. Not pole time. What do you envisage? What do you envisage as the top 3 for this?
As now far I'm seeing the pace, because I really haven't watched like all of the D1 races, so I'm still confused of the guys' paces. But as names, I still think like Chum, Leo, and Dicky would be like the top 3 guys. Because you see Harry, like rest of races, like before races, he has getting a lot of penalties, but that might be a setback for him. Why not? He might be alone. But we might as well see, cause actually there might be there's literally everyone else starting off stops except V5, so there's a bit of range.
So Mitch is in the chat. I believe Tyler is Bullet Boy. Might be wrong.
Yeah, Tyler's Bullet Boy.
Yeah. But no, it's going to be. It's just so key to keep a clean start, because if you don't want to be that guy that has to stick on the hards.
The awful hard tires, which I love.
Yeah, it's.
Even though they're so special tires, because this is the only track where he used the hard tires.
It's hopefully, I don't know what the compound choice is for this year actually, for Silverstone. Obviously it's all a bit different, isn't it? But I think they could probably get away with just taking down the softness a bit, because there's no need for the tyres to be this hard around here. I know it's a track that does put a lot of stress on tyres, but still, I mean, the hard tyres, there's no need for them in real life and in this game.
Both of them, because literally you can take the whole race from hard tires. You can take the whole race, even from like mediums, for example. You can take the whole race.
Yes, no, you can easily actually, and it's one of the few tyres that your times get quicker. As you like significantly quicker, even on the race strategy screen. You just see the light, like the lap time keep going down and down as along with your tyre wear.
Precisely. But now, as we get ready for a start, and now as Fireflies, and then where we go for D1 race. As now we see, there's a little, it's kind of clean start for turn 1, but now as we go out at the under turn cross, but still now up to turn 3 right now. Seems quite clean for Bob. Oh, there's a Decky under cross on turn 4. Oh, Decky losing positions back. Being pushed right, I didn't see by who, but now. And
Yeah,
now behind. This now behind as B5 with Gary goes side by side now. As now when Brown Cops almost going 3 wide in the middle pack.
Yeah, this is very, very tight. Deck has lost out quite a few spaces. If we have a look at, yeah, he's lost 6 spaces, or 5 now as he goes around the outside of Bullet Boy. But there's already a big gap between the top 2. I'm going to have to just take a small rest, but I'm going to leave it on Neo, but I will be back in about 2 minutes, so apologies.
So now I'll be alone here, so I had to hear my voice. So now, even though you're stuck with Neo, even though he has a power battles, but now as we see Neo and Leon and Kenter going side by side about 3rd place after taking last corners. As Leon locks up, but still ourselves up, but now Kenter pushes him a bit wide. But now Kenter 3rd place overtakes Leon. But now as Neo and Rick going, I don't know who happened there, but still. Ooh, now Rick is going throw back, and Rick goes inside as Neo getting dive from Bondeki, but now getting it done. But now as Deki, ooh, as Neo narrowly spun Scar, loses back end, and now as Deki and Nelucci comes around left and right. But now Neo, see that inside curve, doesn't leave Nelucci get a chance to overtake. But out as Bullet Boy spawns, and Bullet Boy's out of a race, and takes Gary and Killabrew with him, and that's forcing back there for Killabrew and Gary. Bullet Boy has now, well, Bracelet's gone down. But now back to this battle for a place as Neo getting pursued by Nelucci.
So it seems that most people have kind of got through semi-clean. I don't know what happened with Gary. Did we see what happened with Gary as well?
Killabrew, Gary and Bullet Boy wasn't into altogether. Bullet Boy got spawned by somehow, and now Killer and Gary got tangled with Bullet Boy. That's unfortunate. But now as Dallas is right behind Nelucci. Well, I say RJ, but now, yeah, as RJ going through 1st corner.
It's very, very, very tight through the midfield as Leon picking up, I'm guessing the first 3-second penalty?
Yes, it's first penalty.
Owen putting a lot of pressure now as on RJ, can't seem to find a way through. It's Gary's pit, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's a Windows involved. But now, as I see, Spine is getting closer to Leon to get those max and biggest corners. Less than 2/10 gap. But now, Spine gets a bit wide and doesn't get a good run. But now, same as Leon gets a bit of a cross, and now Spine has a much better run to Leon.
It's a very good run Spine's got. He's going to make a little bit of contact.
And tries around the outside, but Leo gives him a little nudge.
It's good defending.
As also as RJ Owen, as Owen gets past, but RJ goes a bit deep and still kind of helps position, but now Owen gets to reach back on RJ.
They're going to be 2 abreast going into this 1st corner. That is not going to be fun.
But somehow they still made it out.
Well raced. That's a fantastic overtake by RJ to keep.
And RJ keeps 10th place from Owen. But now Spine getting back on Leon.
Yeah. As Gary, interestingly, is elected to go on the mediums. I don't think they'll go to the end. Maybe I'm wrong.
Probably not, but now Spine and Leon go side by side to the long right-hander, getting to their old start finish line. But now Leon, as Spine Cup has Spine, actually no, Spine keeps from Spine. But now there's big contact, and now Leon's and Leon has been spun.
I wonder if anyone else got affected there.
I don't think so. It's only about if Spine got affected. But I don't think so.
Leon keeping very cool-headed and waiting for people to come through, because you could easily mess everything up there quite badly. Neo right on the tail of Spine, who himself is right on the tail of Decky, and this is playing into the hands a little bit from the guys up top. Rick's probably going to be able to a degree, stretch his legs a little bit, not have to worry too much about the guys behind, because they'll be battling each other into higher times, you would suspect.
As Leon comes into the pits.
Yes. Where was the contact? Who was it with? I kind of literally just missed it.
It was a Spine. It was a Spine in the old turn 1. So first of all, Leon, and same as Spine, who lost like 2 positions since that contact, as Ricky Decky got past. But now as Leon put hard tires on. Versus put hard tires on, so we'll see how his pace is like.
Yeah, that's...
But now, and back now, Decky's right close to Rick.
The front three are definitely going to be quite happy with this middle group battling. And potentially, actually, another guy who might be quite happy with all the battling going on is V5, who is the highest running medium runner. As RJ gets round Luigi, but Luigi gets around him. RJ's having some cracking wheel-to-wheel battles. We're only 6 laps in.
Spine gets a penalty.
It's fascinating, this battle between 4th and 7th. It's really, these guys are obviously very close to each other in pace, and it's going to be interesting to see whether the top 3 can keep it clean. They've got the opportunity to. They can probably take their foot off the gas a tiny bit and just avoid penalties. And if they can, I can't see them being challenged unless there is a pretty gnarly overcut or undercut going on.
Or even a safety car.
Oh, poor Leon. I think Leon may have just given up the ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I know I'm on the main screen, but Harry's only got 1 warning, Doom's got 1 warning, Cantera's got none, so... Keep it very
now
clean.
Archie getting close to Luigi once again. But now Archie getting the inside line.
It's a good move.
As getting one parking move, but now Owen is looking back in Luigi again. As we see, Gary also had a bit of spin because there was a yellow flag on top, but now as Owen is right behind Luigi again, and now Owen runs a bit wide, so he doesn't get the run. As V5 was still, oh, there's a Leon's car, never mind. But now as V5 is looking inside of Owen, but doesn't get the run. But now Luigi getting to get back that 8th place, RJ, but he stays back for his turn.
So it's almost
But now as Rick and Dicky, they go side by side to turn 6. I can't remember turn for now as Dicky try and guess gets the move done at turn 1. All turn 1.
So tight. There's almost two really big groups, isn't there, that have formed. You've got the battle between 4th down to 7th, and the battle between 8th really down to, well, 12th. So there's only a few people that are straggling a little bit, guys like Killer and Gary and, yeah, the guys up in front, but otherwise it's kind of wall to wall. Owen is definitely starting to lose a little bit of time, I think, on well, sorry, no, Luigi's losing a bit of time on RJ, and he's forming a little bit of a gap.
Now as Owen and Evolucci. It's now around the outside of turn 6 and wants to move, and that was a nice move for Owen. But now as V5 is now looking past Evolucci again, but now Evolucci gets back run now. But even though V5's DRS is quite low compared to others.
Well, you would think he'd start making. He'd have the better tyres right now, and potentially could be a bit easier.
Yeah, as we now see, as V5 and Evolucci go side by side now. As now we see like Harry and Jim getting into pits on lap 8.
It's going to be crucial to see where they come out.
I still think they'll come like behind a pack. Like where Liverpool is, that's the my thoughts were. Actually, no, Liverpool goes past, but yeah.
Wow, it just shows you how long this pit lane is, because.
Yeah, of course the speed limit is like quite slow compared to others.
Yeah, he's miles behind. Pretty crazy, really, actually.
Like even like for example now it's like 25 seconds to Cantera is Harry's gap, so that kind of tells how long the pit lane is.
Yeah. I think I don't know whether the undercut or overcut is more important. We'll find out, I'm pretty sure, with this lap, because I can't see Cantera.
Yeah. But as tar hit skill, I probably think the overcut might be more efficient these tar hits. For now, as Cantera comes in, Decky still continues as Rick and the RJ continues, but as Cantera's by Neo comes in as Owen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Blue is coming in.
Yari's staying out with V5. That will be annoying for V5. I think he'd have probably wanted just a bit of a breather.
Yeah, but he still has Yari as company.
Where is Harry going to come out in relation to Cantera? Cantera's kind of coming towards. He's way clear, isn't he? Way clear.
Way clear. But do for Cantera was a bit behind of Jim Harry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so actually the gaps are almost kind of similar, I think, as to when they went in.
Yes, I want to say, yeah, it's kind of similar. Well, we'll see how like Dickie and Rick, how they will gain. Or even RJ.
Yeah, Rick and Decky, hopefully. I mean, you'd think that they'd perhaps not battle as much. It's so difficult because.
But now, even though Rick backs out, But now as they come to pit lane, as I think probably the rest of the runners will come in.
It's never fun following someone else into the pit lane.
Actually, Yari's still continuing, actually.
Wow. It must be a right pain for for poor old V5. Oh, as Rick gets held. Ooh.
By RJ. That wasn't ideal for Rick.
Mm.
But now as Harry, June and Kentera are going through, over is Nicky Rick can come out, compared to Spine and Neo.
Ooh. Decky nearly lost it on the exit
as Decky comes across and Rick, so I can't say it's kind of close because now Neo and Spine are right back up. So the guys with speed come out. It's as now Neo coming around outside with Rick after turn 4 and gets his job done as Rick is struggling with the tires hard times.
Yeah.
As Decky and Spine going, as Decky is Spine now, and Spine gets past Decky also, so our attempts has been costly a bit, but still.
Yeah, it's kind of rejigged the grid a little bit outside of the top 3 anyway, between down Spine down to Rick. I don't think the overcut worked as well as perhaps Rick was anticipating, but then again he did get held, so
yeah. But as now, like Owen, Archie and Neolucci are still fighting for position, so they haven't changed as Yari now comes in as soft runners.
So Yari eventually does pit, so that's everyone now. I'm having a look at RJ. It's so tough.
As now Yari comes out right between those two.
Ooh. And he's going to struggle with those tyres.
Yeah, and as Nevolution gets past also. And now as On has lost some ground to RJ because Yari came out pits. I think all still have out in Donor, which is right now Own.
So V5's in an interesting position. You would think he would come. He's probably on course to come out, I would say, if he can keep these tyres okay and doesn't lose too much time. He could probably come out, I reckon, about 8th or 9th with fresh softs and chasing down those guys. So it's not a bad little strategy for V5.
But now I'm seeing the gap so it's like 25-26 seconds. So I think as long as he thinks he might drop behind the group, or guide 12 group, he might not drop behind that group. So he still has to keep the pace up.
Yeah, and absolutely, he still has to keep going on them for quite some time. And you would think potentially it might work out quite nicely, because I think Harry will catch him at some point towards the end of the stint, and it might be around the time he'll be pitting, so it shouldn't have too much effect on the
well, because the gap is still 11 seconds, and I think V5 will go like 3 to 4 laps, because softs they will last like 8 to 10 laps. They will still definitely last, so I think V5 will still pit quite early. Or you never know, he might stretch tires.
tyres might come into play a little bit here for some guys. I mean, you've obviously got Yari's got 3 laps newer tyres than Luigi, and Decky's got 2 laps newer than the guys ahead of him, apart from Cantera and Spine, where it's only 1. So That could play a bit of a hand towards the end of the race. Spine goes quickest.
Runs his spine fast lap, getting gap behind Dicky, keeping that gap right over the second line. Well, now as I see RJ is actually catching Rick a bit now, right now, into Rick as he's struggling with the tire temps. And has fallen back from the group by 2.5 seconds. But now as Riari getting spice with Luigi up to turn 6 now, one right-hander as now.
It's going to be tight.
Yari gets to new housing. Yari gets to move down quite easily.
Okay, so June picks up a 3-second penalty. Cantera, I think, will be enjoying that because I think that will mean that. I mean, he's had a completely clean race so far, Cantera. And Harry, unbelievably, hasn't got a penalty yet.
Now V5 gets a penalty. But now, as I'm seeing, Harry has 2 warnings, so he's close to getting a penalty also. So Harry needs to keep it clean.
It's a really good battle in the midfield. It's nice to have 2 sets of groups battling. I think Rick's definitely struggling on his tyres compared to the other guys he was fighting at the beginning of the race, though.
Yeah, the gap is rising in front, but now as our team and Owen are battling, though they were catching Rick, but now Rick is probably gonna gain some because now Owen is now trying to get past RJ. Because he definitely has some more pace. It seems like it.
Yes, it's quite interesting. Just keeping an eye on where V5 is going to come out. He's not losing that much time at all to the guys in the midfield. If it is going to be about 25 seconds, it's going to put him around. It is going to put him around where RJ is, I suspect, by the time he does come in. So if you get out ahead of that, that's going to be quite pivotal to get out ahead of that group, and then he could potentially, push on up towards kind of Decky.
But now as Decky is getting close to Spine, into Spine, I'm not sure if Spine has been a couple laps now on low ERS, but now we'll see how it plays out at the end.
Gary's really having a miserable time at the back. Another penalty. You would normally expect Killer to be catching these guys as well, but a lack of practice has really impacted on what he can do. Decky's definitely closing up on Spine, and that could be the next big battle as Gary retires, unfortunately. And hopefully he didn't hear what I said. But yeah, this is kind of it's this battle, isn't it? And it's the battle for 9th that's really the ones on track, as well as, I suppose, Luigi keeping with Yari after he overtook him earlier.
Being that same as Yari's technically catching RJ and Owen at the same time. But now as B5 comes in,
he's going to ask a lot of his tyres there.
Well, 16 laps. That's like, or let's assume Eric can pit because the softs they'll definitely take like 10 laps and so on. We'll see where V5 drops by. As he actually drops by behind all of this group, actually. Right behind Luigi also, so V5 coming out of 12th place. like a couple seconds back, so he has some getting to do.
So I'm problems with my headphones. I've just had to change them. I keep going in and out. It's something to do with the jack. It's not, so apologies if that's affected any sound. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, not. I suppose V5 coming out that far back just shows you how long the pit lane is, because I wouldn't think he would come out that far back. Damn, that's crazy.
That's like plus 20. That's like plus 27 seconds.
It's a long old time. So it's looking like it could well be quite a comfortable win for Harry, as long as he keeps it clean. And then it's just a question of really the battle for fourth, which I think is between Spine, Decky and Neo. And then equally we've got battles for 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and a resurgent V5 on some tyres that are going to go a bit quicker, you'd imagine, than the guys around him, although he hasn't really caught Luigi that much, actually.
Even though he's now catching by a couple tenths now, 3 corners, in though he has now the grip advantage, but definitely not the straight advantage, so it's all the guys are in the slipstream.
So, I don't know, I would say at the moment it could also go down to tyres as well, couldn't it? It could go down to whoever's looked after them best. I mean, Decky's obviously got, you would think, along with Rick and RJ, well, actually no, because I think they just got over the line, but Decky's definitely got more in the locker in regards to tyre wear, so that could be a factor towards the end, as well as Yari. Actually, Yari could also have that. It's no surprise necessarily that Luigi would drop off the back of him, as it appears he's doing ever so slightly. Got yellows in sector 2.
As Killpool has taken a bit of spin and lost a bit of swing.
Miserable day for Killer. He'll be hoping for one more retirement, I suspect, to get that last point.
As we see, the retirements aren't that easily here. As V5 showing his pace, getting closer to Evolution now. Kukai is only like 2 seconds now. As Killer Pro tires.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, I suppose. The midfield penalties as well, we haven't really kept an eye on, but penalties have been a lot less prevalent than what I thought they would be around here. I think D2 might have a few more than what's going on here.
Probably. But as for now, battle for break place, which they both have penalties, so that may think Neo, because Neo does have a penalty, might benefit from it. As I'm probably seeing, actually, they'll actually have penalties. Except for Rick, because Rick, he has to cut it clean as RJ.
Yeah, so Rick could, as long as he doesn't get too far adrift of these guys, he could still actually jump up. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Decky and Spine. I don't know whether that was just on my picture, but they made contact down the straight as Decky got round Spine. Wings look fine, so very bizarre.
He kind of looked like Spine. He got us back in and bit lift up as Decky got past me some like easily also.
Yeah, and Decky already building a bit of a lead over Spine, so it's just, I think it's just a question of whether he can do anything into catching onto the back of Cantera with only 6 laps left.
But to point out, Cantera doesn't have a penalty, so if Cantera doesn't pick a penalty, he might be securing that 3rd place.
So, looking very good for Harry's title aspirations. It's going to put him within striking distance of Mitch. And Rick will probably be a little bit disappointed he's not picked up more points as the guy in 2nd. And I believe he'll be overhauled by Harry and be dropping down into 3rd. But everyone will finish in the points if they finish. Well, if they get to lap 25? Yeah. 25, so if they can get over the line a few more times, they're guaranteed some points, although most of them will have a bit more ambition than that, I suspect. Spine seems to be on a bit of a fight back. He's not drifting away as much as he was from Decky. It's very hard to travel around here, though, isn't it? It's very hard, like, as in follow.
Yeah, except for those things that the biggest corners. You might get the stuff for oversteer. Might when you run completely, or like the first, like the first sector, or like the steep lines, the hard break corners. It's easy to mess up. At the same time now, there's like 2 DRS zones. Or no, 3, I can't remember right. But 2 or 3 DRS zones, so you can literally catch up quite easily, but not enough to overtaking. So you have to be quite close to make the overtake done. As we see now, Yari and Owen probably switching places.
Yeah, those tyres will just be helping out now. Yari now, I suspect, is going to get to the point where having 1 or 2 laps less wear will start to definitely be helping him. V5's probably getting really annoyed because he's not getting any benefit that the guys in front are of DRS as RJ picks up a pen, which could be fairly important in the shake-up of things. I suspect that Harry is probably keeping it a bit consistent and clean, and rather than trying to run around and go as fast as he possibly can, because he's managed to stay on those 2 warnings.
That's got impressive.
V5 is catching up to the back of Luigi, but just not. I don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to be a frustrating day for him, because I think if he would have been in DRS, he could have probably got moves done. But yeah, the reverse strategy has not worked as well as he perhaps would have hoped, and what I assumed actually. So interesting for any D2 drivers watching this. Spine is definitely staying with Decky. It's just a case of, can he catch him? Has Decky got 1 more penalty, do we know? I think he may
I'll
have...
check for him. As I think Decky only has 1 penalty, as I'm seeing. He only has 1 penalty so far, as Spine. Like, Spine is on 2 warnings, as Decky has no warnings so far. But both are penalties, as Neo, but Rick, he still has a chance if he keeps pace, but for now I'm seeing Rick has fallen back by 3 or 7 seconds, so I think he's not getting any criticism from it.
Yeah.
But now Spine is getting quite close to Decky right now.
He's definitely gaining on him. He could well go side by side through this corner. Not really using much in the way of errs. Doesn't seem that interested in trying to get round him on that corner at all. Very interesting. He's just kind of seemingly holding back. I think he's waiting for perhaps the last couple of laps before he kind of shows his hand a bit.
I think if he's now seeing Aztec is ERS.
Yari is catching up to the back of RJ. It'd be interesting to see if he can make a move on him. Who is your driver of the day so far?
Though there really hasn't been like massively like special changes except Cantor from 6th place. But either way, Harry has been, well, even though Harry has been quite superior today, even though not getting a penalty like he used to.
Yeah, I agree. I can't really look past Harry. For him to not pick up any penalties, he does get a lot of grief about invalidated laps and corner cut warnings, so you would think it would take a lot for him to lose this race now, I suspect. So unless anything weird happens, then yeah, it's kind of got to be Harry, I would say. A little bit of a shout out, I think, to Yari as well, because he's done pretty well considering he seemed a bit off the pace in qualifying.
Well, now Spine is now quite closing Deki also, as Deki got a bit of a run past his Spine, so Spine couldn't affect it.
He's starting to think about it now. He's starting to run higher and he's starting to really think about having a look and a move. So
as now laps are getting closer, like he's past 9% race, so everyone, even though he didn't have to get points.
Yeah. He's running overtake. It's going to be very close, I suspect. Oh, as he gets a 3-second ban.
3-second penalty.
Seemed a bit harsh. He didn't seem to go much offline at all. So he's going to get even more desperate to get past here. Deki shuts the door, so that might well be that, really, I suspect, unless Deki picks up another penalty in the next like few corners, and then it gets a bit more interesting again. He's having a go at it till the line, I know that much.
Yeah, definitely. Because gap is, or not, gap is still more small, so I think Spine will probably wait for like a couple less corners or last year straight.
So
now we see like both of them using the air is quite empty, even though he's using all of them, like all their powers at the same time. But Spine is getting quite close at Maris and Pickett's corners, getting quite close. As now Yari gets a penalty that might drop him down a bit now. But Spine getting real close to Deki.
He gets the move done.
Quite easy move done. As there's a bit of contact.
We've messed Harry going over the line, but congratulations Harry, congratulations June and Cantera. Spine and Deki getting it very, very tight here. Deki gets back through and will keep the place. Spine was 3 seconds behind and Neo nips in front of Spine, as does Rick. And everyone finishes pretty much. God, that is such a close race from first down to 12. No time at all to even look at how it unfolded. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how close Criff was.
That was incredible. congratulations, Harry. Really, really, not just the fact he won, I think it was the way he won, wasn't it?
Yeah, no penalties at all, even though he had a couple runs, but still, no penalties.
So, very big congratulations, and I think there'll be a few people that will be very happy with that. There wasn't too much in the way of incidents, but yeah, there's only a couple of spins, which is pretty damn good going around here. Big shout out to guys like Harry, Cantera and Rick for not getting any penalties, and yeah, very good in a double podium.
As Rick did benefit 2 places from it, as Neo Spine, Spine has 6 penalties. Almost. And even though RJ, if he did get a penalty, he was kind of be close to Spine also. By the way.
And it cost Yari a place, just one single place to RJ for getting that penalty. But yeah, no, good race that. When I say a good race, I think it was just amazing just how quick these guys are and how well matched they are. So you probably get a little bit more crazy action in the lower divisions, but that's only because people aren't as consistent. But yeah, that's that. So Harry closes the gap to 24 points to Mitch. Rick will indeed keep his second place, and I think closes the gap down to about 12 points to Mitch. So yeah, we're still to play for.
I will see next week when Mitch comes back.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, hopefully you get a bit more notice as to whether you want to commentate or not, because I think everyone assumed you was, and you didn't really say you was. But thank you so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure to commentate.
Brilliant. No, cheers, dude. And thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed. And we will catch you next week, which will be at Germany.